Good morning and welcome to Align Volleyball Summit presentation titled Build Your Club's Digital Marketing Team with AI, presented by Dennis Yu and Dylan Haugen. Dennis Yu is the Chief Technology Officer of Blitz Metrics, where he is deeply invested in leveraging AI and data-driven solutions to help amateur sports organize, manage memberships, grow your programs, and engage with their communities. As a leader in the digital marketing space, Dennis has worked with global markets like Golden State Warriors and Nike. He is also the co-author of Amazon #1 bestseller, The Definitive Guide to TikTok Ads. Dylan is a dynamic young athlete standing at 5'11" with an impressive 41.5-inch vertical jump, best known among professional dunkers for his engaging podcast. He's built a strong social media following that spans across YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Dylan is a savvy adopter of modern technology and has been using AI tools in the way Blitz Metrics teaches and continues to inspire both aspiring athletes and sports club leaders alike. Please help me welcome Dennis and Dylan to Align 2025.
So Dylan Haugen sitting next to me. If you Google him, you get a full knowledge panel. I'm a search engine engineer, so we can talk about how search engines work. I built the analytics at Yahoo 25 years ago, so I'm older than I look. But when you Google him, you see all these colored boxes, and you see that he's on social media, and he's not just an athlete who has 100 million views across social media and is a 5'11" white guy who can dunk and do all of these things, right? He's big on Instagram. He's got a Dunk Talks podcast where he's interviewed all the top names in professional dunking, even though these other guys can jump higher than him. And you can see he has 5.1 million likes on TikTok. You can see all these crazy things that as an athlete, he's been able to do, these different kinds of dunks. And you see these things like, is that a 10-foot hoop? That's impressive, right? And you can see there's thousands of videos that he's made. But beyond just being an athlete, he also has sponsors, and he works with companies. And there's the business side, and I'm sure his dad wants him to go to college and do other sorts of things. And he has a website, too, for his personal brand, which ties all these other items together to make him Googleable. So even though maybe he wants to seek a scholarship, maybe he wants to, get sponsors, there's still the professional path of leadership, skills in AI, and these kinds of things. And so how cool would it be if all of us here could do this for our young adults, where they can become leaders? We can promote their social media, all the NIL stuff, get them scholarships, grow their brand, grow the brands of, grow our clubs, be able to rank on volleyball city name, right? And so today we want to show what's possible in AI, and rather than me, who's 3 times older than this guy here, I thought it'd be better to have the people who are teaching me show you how it's actually done live, not in a presentation, but live demonstration of AI so you can see what it actually is and how to actually talk to it and what's actually possible, and take questions from you guys as well. Remove all that fear of AI, right? Scan that QR code and you get the 310-page guide that we put together. My hope is that you will identify a Dylan in your organization to kind of be the resident AI expert. And then you empower that person to work on all the content and the social media, and now you have a whole team of people, these AI agents that we've created for you to be able to use. So we want to demystify the AI, make this practical. You have this implementation guide. We're here to answer any questions. We want to see you hire and train up your Dylan, someone that you know. So you're not just athletes, but you're actually growing the club. There's the business marketing side of the club. Sound good?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, thank you, Dennis. So like you said, we're going to be showing this QR code more throughout the day, but we'll just start off with what is AI. Like he said, a lot of people think of AI as something that is like, super complicated. You have to like code it and all that. But what we want you guys to think of AI as is simply as a digital staff. So like he said, we've created all these AI agents, all these AI assistants called custom GPTs. and all of them provide a different role and different help that you guys can have within your clubs, and obviously help implement these into your systems and your players as well. And so again, these are already built out. They're free to use, so all you have to do is just converse with them like humans. So kind of meeting them, we have all of them. There's a lot. We can see them over here, but we gave them all personal
Look,
names.
there's Evan Hayen of 431.
Yeah.
And so instead of using regular ChatGPT, which gives you sort of generic results, we could even create an Evan GPT. And what would the Evan GPT do? It's all the stuff that Evan doesn't want to do, right? All the stuff that you need to do, submit status reports, and you have to be at events, and it's about relationships. But what if you were able to highlight those relationships? What if we're able to show some of the things that we know about Evan Hayen? And he's the team events marketing manager at Sports Endeavors, which owns 431 and soccer.com and all this, but it's only coming from his LinkedIn as the source. What if there was a more robust profile about him to be able to honor those relationships, for example, right? Because everything's relationships. AI, ironically, amplifies the existing relationships that you have. That's what, when the AI gets more sophisticated, the people that don't have those real relationships to show are the ones who get drowned. That's what we've learned at these AI conferences. We've gone to a ton of them. So let's show how some of these work.
Yeah, exactly. So like you said, all these ones on the left here are custom GPTs that we've made. So just using one of them, this is Brandon. Brandon is a blog post helper. So obviously, as clubs, we want to increase our visibility online. So what you can do with Brandon is provide him anything. It could be, for example, like a transcript from a video or a transcript from you interviewing one of your players after a game or something like that, and then honoring them by repurposing it into a blog post. And so we're just going to do a really basic example, and you can talk to it too. Once again, these are just supposed to be like employees. So we'll just talk to Brandon here and tell him what we want to accomplish. So, hey Brandon, me and Dennis are here at the JVA Align Summit with all these volleyball club directors, and we're talking about how they can use AI to help with their digital marketing. So help us draft a blog post for my personal brand website talking about what we're talking about today. As you can see, it's going to transcribe what I said to this really clean text here. We can just give this right to them. In an ideal situation, we would provide a lot more context because, as you'll see with our article grader, having a lot of specific examples is very important. But it can very quickly come up with this. And what we want to do is not just generate. We want to repurpose what we already have. So, this is a real experience that we're having. We're here speaking with you guys. And so we want to repurpose that to build authority on our things and all that. So as you can see, I built this out. Once it is done, we'll bring it over to Jennifer to have it graded. So all these things, like we said, are custom GPTs. And so they all have different things that they're good at, different standards that they go by. And so Jennifer is the grader. And so we can just drop this in here. We're probably going to get a very low grade because that was, not a ton of context. But a C is honestly not too bad. And the cool thing about these things is that they tell you all of it right here. So it's got the score breakdown. It's got a number of specific examples. 4, like I said, didn't provide much context. In an ideal situation, you'd have 10 or more. But all we have to do now is look at these things, have Jennifer fix what it can. So like, for example, one of them is AI giveaways. Like if there's things that just don't make any sense, then Jennifer detects that and can fix that. So you can literally just tell the AI, fix the things. Actually, you should be talking to it, right?
Yeah. Just like a regular team member. That's how you think about it.
Fix what you can, and we'll provide more context for the rest of it. So just super basic instructions. Again, you just want to consider it like a really helpful employee, a really helpful assistant that can do these things for you. So as soon as it's done here, we'll send this.
You notice that the thing is not that we're using AI to generate. It's only as good as your ingredients, the raw ingredients of real experiences, and the context you can provide, the quality of the instruction, garbage in, garbage out. So how about any club here or any company here, let's see how we could instantly improve the website and increase the Google ability according to these standards where you can see here it says EEAT is showing real experiences. What's real, right? There's so much AI fake stuff. Real becomes more important. So who wants to volunteer?
Their website.
Any site. Here, you hold this. Ma'am.
ProdigyVB.com.
ProdigyVB. Oops, I'll do .com. And what's your name?
Mary Beth.
Mary Beth. Okay. Prodigy Volleyball Academy looks good. You've got this pop-up which gets in the way. How do I get out of that? There is? Oh, there it is in that one. Okay. All right. So what do we know about Prodigy? You rank on certain keywords. 128. Prodigy Volleyball, Volleyball Showcases, Prodigy Club, Prodigy Near Me, Sports Engine. Okay. College Volleyball Showcases. There's 30 of these per month, and you rank in position 12, so you don't get any of those. Volleyball Showcase, Prodigy College, Lower Hudson Valley Volleyball, so you have some local intent, which is good in this area. But even though you have a standard website, there's not a lot of content here. You have 16 pages, it's a thin site. It's basically the home page where people are looking at it as like a brochure for navigation. But what if we said, we can go to Google or go to ChatGPT, and we'll say, we'll go to Jennifer. Actually, we're still in Jennifer right now. And we'll say, Mary Beth? So Mary Beth is the club director at Prodigy VB, and she wants to be able to attract more folks to her programs. And in the Hudson Valley, which is I think where they are, they don't appear to be ranking very well. What can we do to grow this program? What are the holes in the website? What kind of content is missing? What else do you know about other players and coaches and things about Prodigy VB to make this better? And if you see things that are missing or broken, how might we improve or fix those items? And also take a look at their social media as well. Find out where they have, great success stories and scholarships and winning and whatnot that we can repurpose to other channels. What kind of proof do we have, right? And now we can have the AI go and find those things for us and tell us what exactly to fix. And then this is where you have someone like a Dylan talking to this and then actually implementing these things right away. Now, this is how most people think about AI, where you're talking to the ChatGPT, right? But did you know that everything that you do is AI? It's always been there in Google Maps and Facebook and TikTok and all this, right? This is yesterday. We were, at the dinner last night. That was great. But Mary Beth, name a city, any city in the world.
New York City.
New York. So the AI is automatically categorizing everything on my iPhone from New York. And I was at the Trump rally. I was in the third row right behind Elon Musk. And these other people, don't hate me, right? There's Dana White, there's all these, there's Hulk Hogan. That's New York, right? And here's other things in New York with my other, having dinner with these other people. So you can see there's all of these different moments. So we could take like this one here, and it's tagged. So the AI can tag my buddy Alex and all the things. You play golf, we're speaking at digital marketing conferences, right? Everything is tagged. This is New York, this is Alex. So I could say golf in Chicago. I could say, name any kind of food, or name any activity, or name any object.
Pizza.
Pizza. So now the AI is thinking, what looks like pizza? So I'm with my friend Elizabeth. She's 86 years old. That's not pizza. This is Korean barbecue, right? But it's round. It's got a round thing. So that's, you see, the AI, you can't, it's not 100%. So you have to supervise the thing. And this is pizza. And this is pizza is this in Italy? This is in Arizona. I was in Rome a couple months ago. And the pizza is amazing there. It's like not even the same thing. Just pizza, pasta everywhere. And you can see there's a lot of pizza. The AI has always been there all along. The matrix has always been there, right? Here's pizza, right? Lots of pizza. This is, I think, pizza in Hawaii. No, this is in Las Vegas. I don't even remember where these places are, right? But imagine you connected to whatever your favorite AI is. You can see here, you can connect photos, connect your Google Drive, connect, I'm sure, whatever it's Sports Engine, wherever you have all of this stuff, and have the AI, Jennifer or whoever, process all of these items for you. How cool would that be, right? How cool would it be if we were to take Evan and let's do this. So we'll just record something right here, right? My buddy Evan of 431 Sports believes that relationships are the most important thing. And today at JVA Align Summit here in Chicago at the Intercontinental, we're talking about how to use AI to be able to deepen existing relationships. But that requires that you understand how to use AI to repurpose existing raw ingredients, that you connect those sources. And if you have a young adult like Dylan, go through this training that we put out there and use the GPTs, these like custom AIs that we've built for you to use, then you now have 6 more team members to do all sorts of things. Stuff that you don't want to do, anything that's repeatable, you could have it do, as long as there are clear instructions, just like hiring and onboarding a new employee, and that employee continues to learn. But the key for Evan is to see that it's not just some technology thing. It's actually the clarity of what you want, the raw ingredients from those relationships, pizza in New York City, that then can be put on YouTube and Facebook and TikTok and all these other places to repurpose many different ways. But most people are so bad at speaking, they are like nervous, like there's a lot of people, I can't find my words, and that's how their video comes out. This gets transcribed, but everything we're doing here is AI, okay? It's not just ChatGPT, it's not just this bot that predicts words at you. And provided that the hotel internet is solid, you're gonna see that it transcribes all of this, and now I can edit this instantly without having any video editor skills. I can get rid of the filler words, I can clean the sound. Can you guys not hear us well enough? All right, I'll yell louder. And now you've got tons of raw ingredients. Think of it this way. So yes, we've created these custom bots for you and whatnot, and there's this 300-page guide, so if you're low on melatonin, you could always look at this. But look at this 4-stage process. First is, do you have the raw ingredients? The player photos and the bios and the stories and the events and what's going on, right? Real proof that these young athletes are succeeding. Then the AI can process it, not create out of thin air. Process it using whatever your favorite set of tools are to then live on your YouTube and Facebook and TikTok and Twitter and website and all that, and then be able to promote. This is where all these AI tools are going. It allows you to focus on meeting people, on deepening real relationships. So all the technical cruft that gets in the way of messing with websites and Prodigy, you've got a few photos here, there's 16 pages, there's so much information that could be put here. We could look at their Facebook or Instagram, right? You want to reach these parents, but if that information's not there because you're busy or you don't have time or you don't have the resources, whatever, see, that's not even working, that link's not working. You see that? These social links aren't even working. Powered by Sports Engine, linking back to them, right? But it's not a Sports Engine issue. It's a lack of content. It's a constipation issue, right? Because it's just not, the content exists somewhere, locked up somewhere, right? But it just is not visible, right? There's content here, all this pizza that's being eaten. Look at this gigantic pizza. I think this is in Ireland, yeah. This is like a 50-inch pizza or something in Ireland. But no one else knows about it because it's locked on my phone. So what do you want to be known about? What stories do you want to be able to tell? Use the AI to unlock that. Now we have this thing here, and then I'm the speaker here. Was it Mary Beth? Marianne? Okay, so let's say, I said Evan. Let's play Mad Libs. Give me a name. Jared. And give me a company name. McDonald's. And Give me an adjective or something like that. Or adverb, or, you know, a word.
Good.
Good, okay. Good. See, she's playing. She's a good sport. Okay. And then I can take all of this and I can remove all the filler words, because I had a bunch of filler words at the end, a bunch of ums and ahs down here, right? And those are gone automatically. I can fix the sound, because this was off the laptop, and get rid of all the noise and these other pieces, so it sounds like it's in a real microphone. And that's done almost instantly. And I could move stuff around. I could say, you know what, this is actually the most important thing. I'm going to copy and paste this. I'm going to move this to the front. And I'm editing my video like I'm editing a Word document. And I could have the AI edit this as well. I could take the transcript, like what Dylan was showing you, and I could say, I'm trying to introduce my friend Evan Hayen of 431, but I didn't do a very good job. Can you go ahead and rewrite this so I can show him as a featured entrepreneur, as someone who's helping sell more merchandise, but in a relationship-driven sort of way on my blog? And I gave it instructions. I spoke to it. And now I'm pasting in the transcript of the video that I made. And now it's going to rewrite that for me. And I can come back over here and have myself say things I didn't say. Let's try. My buddy Jared of McDonald's believes that relationships are the most good thing. And today at JVA Align Summit, you see that? What do you guys think? It's not always to like subvert governments and, you know, that. Well, just.
How do you make it sound like it's not produced by AI? So how do you make it sound like I'm not saying it?
How do you make it sound like it's real? So Mark Twain said that the key to success is to be authentic. Fake that, and you've got it made. No, the key is you start with real ingredients, right? We're not here to deceive. We're not here to put words in people's mouths and, you know. So do you guys remember Cambridge Analytica and all that nonsense that happened with election manipulation and, you know, the Russians getting, you know, interfering and all that? So I debated Zuckerberg on CNN in front of millions of people and crushed him. And we were talking about deep fakes and about data and about these sorts of things and the bad things that can happen when AI goes out of control. But there's also, you know, fire can burn your house down. Fire can also cook a wonderful steak if you like meat, like I do. And so it's not that the AI is bad, it's how are we able to use this for, you know, for your clubs, for your businesses in the right way. People will use it to twist words around or to have Donald Trump do something he didn't do, right? But that's not what we're interested in. That's what everyone else is talking about. What we're saying is how do we leverage all of these employees like Jennifer and Brandon and whatnot to do work that otherwise would not have been done, that we'd like to have done, that, you know, Marianne wants to be, Mary Beth wants to do to fix this website. How do we make this website better? I think we asked the AI and it gave us some answers.
It's right above there.
Yeah, up here. There's all of these things that could happen. And, you know, maybe the grade isn't very good, but there's a lot of things that can. So it's saying where, it's basically asking us, where is the proof that this is an awesome club? We're not saying you're not, we're just saying where's the proof, right? That proof needs to be visible on, you know, in searches for your name, you know, club name, your name. If you have enough trust with Google, you get this. This doesn't mean you have millions of followers or you're a celebrity, right? It means it's on social media. It means it's on YouTube. It's on TikTok. It's, you know, personal brand websites. It's all of these things here. And what you're trying to do is build trust. To your question, how do you make sure something is real or appears real, is you have so many marks of trust that, because otherwise you could look at video like, I don't know, is this real or not? Well, who else is engaging on it? Who else is linking to it? Can we trace that back to the original source? So every time we publish an article or video or whatever, we always show where it came from. So you can see it wasn't messed with, right? Questions so far? What do you guys think? In the back.
When you're creating your custom GPTs, I'm assuming it's just a template that can be downloaded on ChatGPT, right?
Yes.
Did you generate that?
You wanna
through
show him?
AI?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Yeah, so for the paid version, I think you have to have ChatGPT Plus, right? That's the requirement.
You have to have a paid one.
Yeah, you have to pay the one. But all you do is, if we go to Explore GPTs, you can see we have all these down here. But you just go to Create. And by the way, you guys should definitely consider getting the paid version. It's like $20 a month, but it's totally worth it. And what you can do is upload files. So like we have kind of like all our master documents and stuff uploaded as files into all the ones that we have, so that it has those requirements and things that, you know, the article graders look at and all that. And then if you go over to Create, while you're going, if you see something that's an issue, like, oh, it continues to do this over and over again, then you can just say, you know, I'm trying to think of an example, but you can tell it things that it's doing wrong, and then it'll automatically go into the instructions as well. So it'll have the instructions, and then it'll also have the knowledge, and you can name them. So like he used as an example, you can have, you know, one for your own personal assistant. So it's like, for me, like I have one named like Haugen Assistant, and I have like a document that just has like a bunch of information about me, so that it can help me when I make blog posts and videos and stuff like that. So
Do you guys understand why we're saying the custom GPTs are different and more powerful than just using Grok or Gemini? Or you need to build custom GPTs and different ones for different functions. Just like when you onboard new employees, you don't have one employee try to do everything. That's a disaster, right? They have specialized functions. Sir, in the back, in the black. No, you, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Black lady.
We actually use custom GPTs in marketing to actually write our emails for every one of our custom programs.
Okay.
And what we do is we upload all of this information in specifically for each program, and it learns.
Yeah.
It continues to learn.
That's why you do a custom GPT. Like an employee learns and gets better. It learns what to say and not to say, and it learns about you.
And
Yeah.
the great thing about it is that we can basically say, write this, and we picked a copywriter, a famous copywriter,
Mm-hmm.
you know, David Ogilvy.
Great.
Write this as if
Yeah.
you were David Ogilvy.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, for $20 a month, we have best copywriter in the world.
Yeah.
Writing for a 25-year-old who's never done, you know,
Yeah.
copywriting.
Yeah.
And it's basically done.
Yeah.
It's the most cost-effective staff we've ever.
Now that's one GPT as a copywriter. How many other team members do you want to have? How many other things can you have done? And then any of us that build GPTs, we can share them with each other, right? Because it's not like it costs any of us anymore. We built these GPTs. We're giving them to you and use them, and we've run these things thousands of times. Sir.
What kind of inputs does it do well with? Like if I upload, I'm assuming like a Word doc would do well, right?
Yeah.
So like if I have like an HR chat GPT,
Yep.
right? And I say, hey,
Yep.
we need you to read our manual and tell our parents that they need to follow the 24-hour rule. Like it'll
Right.
do that for me. But
Yep.
more complex things, like if I upload information of like what kids have done what, like will it take tables and all those things very well too?
That's part of my question, because I tested
Yeah.
it, and
Yeah.
that's also my.
What does it
Okay.
do the best with, and what
Okay.
does it not do well with?
Okay. I can take that one, I think.
yeah, go ahead.
I want to separate your question into three components.
Okay.
First is the context window. Second is memory. And third is what's called reasoning. So now if you try to do what's called a one-shot, which is here's a 300-page document and try, like you're going to fail because you're never going to get there in one step. Just like with an employee, you have to, you know, an SOP is when you do something in multiple steps. So the first thing with the context window is how much, I don't want to get too technical, but how much information can the thing ingest? Can it ingest a 300-page document? Yes. If we look at Gemini or these other ones, the window might be 500,000 tokens, might be 1.5 million. Some of them are like 2 or 3 million, like the latest ones on Llama, which is Meta's open source. So technically, if you upload, you know, like a 5,000-page document and you ask it to find a particular fact, it can do that. But if you want it to actually tie that in with the way you operate, and then like with the custom GPT where you include these instructions, and this is how we like to do things, and it's learning from your emails, it's learning from your past. Like you can connect your Google Drive, you can connect all this stuff, and the thing learns over time, like this other guy mentioned. That's tied to memory, right? So the larger context windows, more memory, and then the ability to reason, which is multi-step, allows you to get a better response. But it means that you have to have a conversation with the thing and break it into different steps. So we could come to Gemini, which is currently my favorite. We just did this a few minutes ago. Like, what do you know about John Sparrow? And we said, so this is an example of multi-step reasoning. This is using deep research. Every LLM, every one of these AI tools, has their version of deep research. Deep research is basically work harder, but reason through multiple steps. So I said, what about John Sparrow at the JVA Align Summit? And it creates a plan. And the whole point of reasoning is you have multiple steps in the plan, right? Here's the whole plan, A, B, C, D, right? All this stuff. And you look at it as just like an employee would come back at you. Is this the right way to do things? Now, if you have an SOP, it'll follow your SOP based on the quality also of the ingredients that you give it. If you don't give it good initial ingredients, no SOP will overcome that, right? Raw ingredients, SOP for multiple steps. Here's the output. It gives us this output. It's not bad. It says all of these things here, right? Tables, all achievements. This is probably better than the bio on his site or on USA Volleyball or whatnot, right? It beats it 99% of the time. But then now that we've loaded this into memory and we do multi-step reasoning, we could say, now, see, this is the problem with I think I lost the internet, did I? But I would say, now Dylan Haugen wants to interview John Sparrow for his podcast. What are the right questions that actually make the most sense, given that they're both helping youth succeed, and Dylan is helping people increase their vertical jump. How does that tie with volleyball, right? And it'll come back with a better answer because we went through multiple steps of reasoning than if we just tried to do it in one shot, right? And so what you do is you never take the first answer, you keep refining it. So you can see these conversations here where it'll give us, here, sky high. Who's sky high? Right? We're looking at what they're doing, but we don't take the first thing they say. We continue to enhance and improve and have it. So it's your ability to have an empathetic conversation, just like you would with an employee, than type the word into the search box and get back the answer from Google, right? It's a completely different way of thinking about it. Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay. And the light blue.
There's no question there is a ton of power and ability in everything you guys are presenting. For a club director like me, who knows nothing about this, what's the actual first step? Is it reading through the 300-page guide? Is it creating GPTs? What?
It's the intent. What do you want to have done? What's your goal?
So
Okay, great. Let's look at your website. What is it? Here, you hold this.
do you have the product you want? I'm happy to give you mine, but
It's so easy. This stuff is so easy to fix. You don't need to pay $10,000 to some random person, right? You just get a Dylan who goes through this stuff, and your website will rank better, load faster, convert better, all these things, right? What website do you want to go to? I want to remove all this fear of like, oh, the website's this big project and it's so much effort, so hard. No, it's not.
Big City Volleyball.
Big City Volleyball. Okay. Not bad. You've got site links. New York's #1 source for everything volleyball, and I can already tell, there's a lot of power on this one. So you've got quite a bit of trust. Domain rating 23, 0 to 100, coming from these links. So if you're everything volleyball, what should I expect to see? Volleyball clubs near me. That's pretty good. Oh, you lost that one.
Thank you. That's a question.
Oh, what's that?
What is that? Can you tell us?
We're using lots and lots of AI tools. This is one of the SEO auditing tools. This tells you what keywords there are, and if you were to buy it, volleyball clubs near me would cost you 67 cents. Keyword difficulty 9 is very easy. 11,000 people are looking for that. Youth volleyball leagues near me. And we can see that sometimes we show up, I know it's really small, in local search results, which are maps. Sometimes it's a knowledge panel, it's a video, it's Twitter, it's news, right? So if I were to do this, volleyball or youth sports, volleyball clubs, Chicago, whatever, right? Okay. And you see the type head search results. Naperville, that's cool. Other sorts of things. There's lots of auctions, if you will, lots of competitions. So there's the map results, there's people also ask, there's all these things. So if we want to rank on anything, we need to answer the underlying questions. Google is telling us, if you want to rank on Volleyball Club Chicago, you also need to answer this question: what's the best volleyball team in Chicago? How much does it cost to join? And why are they so expensive? And can I do it at 15? And is volleyball cheap? And you see all these questions? Here, I'm a search engine engineer, and I'm telling people, and people don't seem to understand, I've been saying this for like 30 years, why are volleyball players so fit? Because they don't get injured as often. I don't know, because they're better. So you can see, if you want to rank on something, you need to answer these underlying questions. And that's how we think about websites and social media. It's not like, oh, there's like this cool technology on WordPress, Gutenberg themes, where now, like, it's not a technical thing. It's do you actually answer the intent? That search engine's trying to determine that. And so when people are looking for a club, NYC Volleyball, well, do you answer that question? Well, it's all coming from the home page. Almost everything is coming on Big City Volleyball, but then you have this pickleball leagues. Well, check this out. So if you want to bring people into pickleball, Big City Pickleball, there's no information here. So what might you do if you were to leverage a library of all the pickleball? Let's see, anything, let's just say that this was, pickleball. Can you spell pickleball? Pickleball. So we're playing, pickleball, right? We're playing pickleball, right? Now imagine if you sprinkled real experiences in New York City playing pickleball. Someone's got a folder of this somewhere on their phone somewhere, right? And now these pages can rank better. You take whatever page, youth volleyball. Okay, let's go look at youth volleyball. This is the main page you have to attract people for youth volleyball. We can ask ChatGPT or ask Gemini, which is Google. I'll do a new one. We want to attract more players to our program. What should we do? And it's going to come back with a plan, and it's going to tell you what's missing. And in fact, we could even say, and look at anything that we've ever done, maybe it's other pages, maybe it's across our social media, to enhance this particular page. Right? We want to move all these points of proof so that when people come to our money pages where people sign up, they can see all of that. But most of the websites are just, and it's not a platform issue, it's that the ingredients don't show there, right? It's not a technical issue, right? You have this, but are you answering the questions? So I can come here and I can ask ChatGPT at the same time. I think we're almost out of time.
A little bit out of 10 minutes.
And we'll say, now remember I showed you to rank on something, you have to answer the underlying questions. What are the questions that are not being answered here? For example, PAA, to be able to grow this club. And what items, especially with Google's EEAT, which is largely about showing real experiences. You want to show youth volleyball, you want to show people that are actually playing youth volleyball, coaches, successes. What are the items that should be here, that could be there, that you can find based on this club, that they could be using, but just aren't on this page where people can enroll in these youth programs? Nothing technical here. I'm just telling it what I want, and I gave it Big City Volleyball. Now, while this is working, I have this one working at the same time. Now go ahead and create this plan. You could spend $10,000 and hire an SEO expert, and this will do a better job if you give it access to the ingredients. I know this because there's thousands of digital marketers that come to us for training, and they're running scared for their lives. Like, well, the AI does better than me. I know. You need to do something else. You need to stop trying, So I'm really good at math. I flew around and did math competitions. I was 5th in the nation in math counts. And when calculators got smarter, it's like, well, what's the point of me, multiplying 3-digit numbers together? Like, there's no point in that. The thing's going to beat you in chess, and don't try to beat the AI at the thing that it does, right? So here it's doing all the research. Are you going to try to beat the thing at what it's good at? Are you kidding? So now we've asked the questions, and you have not answered. I don't mean to be picking on you, but What, you didn't answer these questions. What skill levels are appropriate? Who the coach is? Are they qualified? All this. Now, what's your name?
David.
David. So David, do you think these 5 questions here, if I pointed the phone at you and you spent 1 minute answering each of these questions into my cell phone, you think you could answer these questions? I'm sure you've been asked these questions many times. I'm sure you have the answer to these questions somewhere, right? Because this is what people want to know when they come to that page before they sign up. You don't answer these questions. It's that simple. It's not a technical problem, right? What safety measures are, now the reason people don't sign up is not because the button is too small or because the price is too high, or it's because you don't answer these hidden objections, right? And now I say, now go find where there's proof of this. And now we'll say, okay, now go find the items and now go ahead and fix the page, right? I'll say, and then let's pretend we did the research, because we don't have time right now, but it came back and it's researching 64 websites to find all the things that we can about big city volleyball. And I'll say, based on what you know about big city volleyball, can you go ahead and enhance the page and put in placeholders for where we're missing items so our young adult like a Dylan Haugen can go ahead and do that for us, so I don't have to mess around with the website, and our website will convert better and we'll get more traffic to our youth programs, we'll rank better, we'll convert better, all of these things that we want in marketing. Very simple. I gave it my intent, right? To your question, what should I do? You start with your intent. What's the goal you want? And you tell it the goal and you give it the ingredients and you give it the SOP, it can go from here to here for you, right? And now it's going to come back and say, well, here's all these great things we know about big city volleyball. And here we had one of the coaches answer this question, this and that. And here's your page before, and here's the page now. And here's the kinds of things that we're going to change. Here's the enhancements. Before it was this, and now it's going to be that. And here's a placeholder, add this, change these words, right? And you can speak in the voice of, whatever, David Ogilvy or whoever you want, right? John Sparrow. Speak in the voice of John. I've even had this just for fun. I'd be like, speak in the voice of like Snoop Dogg and just see like how it would rewrite the thing. Don't do that, okay? Yeah, okay. Right? So here it's rewriting it. It's answering the questions that it. Now my favorite thing, I don't want to get too technical, but I love to go to Google for when I'm trying to answer Google-ish kinds of questions, right? Why? Because Gemini is Google's GPT, and don't you think this is a great Trojan horse into getting better rankings on Google? I mean, it is Google's telling, it's their thing, right? That's why I use Google Photos and Google Maps and Gmail and all that, right? YouTube, right? Who owns YouTube? Google, right? You have time for a few more questions?
2 minutes.
Okay. Green shirt.
Understanding what you understand about what we're doing as youth sports operators.
Yeah.
What to you would be the easiest low-hanging fruit? Now, again, I understand it comes from what's your overall mission, but if there's some simple things in terms of website optimization, marketing message, things like that, feeding off Matt's question, what are some initial steps that people can take to kind of take a first step into this?
The first step. So let me give you my suggestion, and Dylan can give his. My first suggestion is find a Dylan, because all of us want to do this, but none of us we want someone to do it except ourselves, right? Because we're afraid of technology, whatever the excuses are, okay? You just need to find another 17-year. And by the way, and I've seen people that are like 60 and 70 and I don't want to like age, so sometimes people come up to me afterwards like, how dare you say that? I can do it like a young adult too, I still have it. Okay, well great, anyone who wants to learn, great, but you need to deputize somebody. Because you as a director, you're too busy doing all this other stuff to like get into the weeds of, you got to fix the website and do the social media, and but you need to have, if you don't have someone own the thing, it doesn't happen, okay? Then you're like too many priorities and it doesn't happen. So that's what I say, find someone to own the thing, and the first thing to start with is fix the website and repurpose things to social media, meaning to YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, like, to reach the parents, and that helps your Google ability, and that will cause your program to have a knowledge panel, you're the club, the coaches, the players to have this, right? We want to be Googleable, and that helps you rank on search and social at the same time. And then all these other things will happen from there, then the analytics, sending out emails, all those things can happen from there as part of marketing. But if you don't have the foundational components, all these items tied together, all the content organized, the AI can help you with that, but you need a human to actually grab all this stuff and put it together, right?
Yeah, I mean, Today's goal was really just to like show you guys some of the things that AI can do and show you that it's really not that difficult. So yeah, I mean, obviously, like you said, it's nice to kind of offload some work to a young adult, but you can even ask the AI that question, like feed it your website and say like, what are some quick things we can do? It'll provide you with like actionable steps you can take. So yeah, that's the cool thing about it is, there's really no question that can't be answered on it. So you can show it your website, have it audit it, and then, it might tell you some like complex words like, oh, this, and that, and you can ask them what each of them means. So really just working with it and learning to work with it just like a human, just conversing with it like a human. Like you can even, there's a voice thing where you can talk to it and it'll talk back to you. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, I just say pick one thing, whether it's, for your emails, like, okay, I'm going to start, automating my emails a bit and using this and learning how to do this. And then slowly over time, just integrating it into more things. So like you mentioned, answering those questions, getting blog posts out there, setting up a blog for your guys' things to honor, your players and all that, just getting more information out there. Like you mentioned with the 1 minute videos, filming 1 minute videos for those questions, just answering anything, whether it's, or even interviewing players after games, taking those transcripts, putting it into AI, having it repurposed. Like there's tons of options, but I would just say, yeah, look through the guide for sure. There's a lot of good stuff in there. There's links to all the free custom GPTs. You guys, yeah, definitely scan the QR code if you haven't. But yeah, just pick one thing, learn how to do it well, and it can help you. So if you have any questions, you can ask it along the way. That's the cool thing is, it knows more than us even. So
yeah, and
just keep working with it.
And if you guys like, we're happy to do like a Zoom session where you bring your deputized person and we'll walk through how to do these particular tasks. So we can actually, I know this is like a quick overview, but my goal is I want to see you guys implement. I want to see you find someone like a Dylan to just do this thing for you. Because there's nagging stuff, you want to check those boxes and you haven't checked the boxes, right? That's all we want to see. We want to see you guys succeed on this. And scan the QR code. If you want, my cell phone number is 612-707-8045. That's not a bot or a VA, that's me. I actually answer that, right?
Maybe.
Can you say it again?
612-707-8045.
That's too fast.
Well, get it from someone, yeah.
707-8.
8045. Yeah. All right. And give a hand to Dylan Haugen. Is he amazing doing all this?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys.